everybody. It's altogether a wonderful experience to attend a national virtual conference for the first time in my career as a LIS professional. I wholeheartedly thank Professor P.V. Kondur, President LIS Academy, and the entire team of LISACON 2020 organizers. Respected Director of the conference, Dr. M.G. Sri Kumar, Plenary Chair, Sri B.P. Prakash, and all the office bearers of the LIS Academy. I am Rashmi Kumbar, working as an assistant professor at the School of Library and Information Science, Central University of Gujarat. My topic of presentation is Adapting Digital Pedagogy in LIS Schools to Teach Innovative Library Services. To lead you all to my talk, I will quote David Warlick, a noted educator from the US, who says, "We need technology in every classroom and in every student and teacher's hand because it is the pen and paper of our time and it is the lens through which we experience much of our world." So as a precursor, we all agree that in today's digital world, education is the only equalizer. Whether it is a developed country or an underdeveloped country, all have equal opportunities to excel due to digital intervention. Irrespective of age, gender, region, country, people have various avenues to pursue degrees and diplomas of their interest. Also, no longer education is restricted to physical classrooms, either in schools, colleges, or universities. Now, education is available at one's fingertips, either on the laptops or on their mobile phones. There are MOOCs which are available like edX, Coursera, NPTEL, Swayam, which are totally revolutionizing higher education. And due to the advent of MOOCs, teaching pedagogy has slowly leaned on digital pedagogy. Further, the pandemic has acted as an accelerator which is compelling the higher education institutes to move to the virtual learning platform. And along with the higher educational institutions, the libraries serving them are also providing their services in the virtual mode to align with the teaching, learning, and research. We all are aware that teaching process in the universities is simply mentoring the students through the courses. We are adopting usually problem-based learning or project-based learning to help the students to understand the topics and the courses better. Open education has massively invited collaborative approach, which is becoming popular in developing countries like India too. Open educational resources are a huge asset to the teachers as well as the students. For all this, adopting the appropriate digital pedagogy will ensure the symbiotic relationship between the teachers and the students. The rationale for my topic is that we all are aware that present generation are digital natives. They all believe in the age of experiential learning. They like recreation and simulation of scenarios and the services. They are well adapted with the digital environment. They know how the gadgets work, the various applications. And further, the government's initiative, Digital India, has stressed on the higher educational institutions on adopting technology for their teaching, learning, as well as research purpose. This open access movement has empowered the entire society and especially the faculty of the universities and the students of the universities. Technology tools are massively bridging the gap between the information haves and have-nots. They are bridging the gap between the urban and the rural areas and more importantly, providing access to quality teaching. All this has seen a massive transformation of libraries in the contemporary world. Libraries, as we all know, are public funded institutions. Therefore, they are leaning more towards community services. Along with that, the library spaces are getting redesigned because of technology. Nowadays, libraries are known as information commons or research commons. Even the content that is available in the libraries, the resources have moved on to the electronic mode. So in order to access the resources as well as the services that are designed to access these resources are in electronic mode. As we already discussed, the next generation are tech-savvy generation. Therefore, most of the library resources are embedded in the teaching, learning, and research process. We have largely moved to the virtual world, and hence libraries are partnering with the various units of the institution and the organization. They are moving well beyond organizing the explicit knowledge and in fact capturing the tacit knowledge that is being created in the organization. So The library services too have seen a transition. So the traditional library services like the current awareness service, reference service, circulation service, indexing and abstracting service, reprographic service, all are getting a makeover or making space for new services. So these days, the digital environment has seen the digital reference services, the birth of online catalogs, the research services, the discovery services, and the institutional repositories. So such kind of library environment expects the LIS professionals to be equipped with the right competencies. So a lot of professional bodies around the world, like the American Library Association, the Special Library Association, the Canadian Library Association, and many other agencies have highlighted the competencies that are essential for the library science professionals to equip themselves with. Some of the essential competencies that are required for the digital environment, especially the IT skills, are like web page development, understanding database management, understanding the web technology, knowledge and information services like the resources, the information and data retrieval, the analysis, the organization of data, information, and knowledge assets are crucial for a professional to succeed. Talking about electronic resource management, the LIS professionals need to have the skill of using the technology for electronic resource management. They should be aware of the life skill of electronic resources. Coming to scholarly communication, they should be aware about the data management services, the scholarly publishing services, the assessment of these sources, and the impact metrics. Similarly, the research data management also expects that LIS professionals should be aware of the services, tools, infrastructure for management of research data across the life cycle of the data. So, if we have to develop these kind of competencies in the professionals, what is the role of the LIS faculty? What is the role of the LIS schools in developing these competencies? As far as my experiences are concerned, I feel we need to view these competencies from a global context. The entire world is shrinking into a global village. We need also to customize our approach in developing these competencies among our students. One size fits all is no longer valid. We should also take advantage of the various digital tools that are available to develop these competencies in our students. And even the universities are giving high priority to develop the digital infrastructure in every school and in every department. The faculty are exposed to the libraries around the world due to attending the conferences, working on projects, and this sort of gives them a scope to recreate such modern libraries in their own country. And also, a number of information resources are available for the faculty to understand the various trends that are there in the profession. So, when we talk about teaching, we talk about traditional teaching pedagogy and then the modern digital pedagogy. The earlier pedagogy depended on the classroom teaching, one to many, or the cliches like chalk and talk, sage on the stage. It was pen and paper based evaluation. The only reading resources that were available were the books, the journals, the handouts. But slowly in the digital pedagogy, we have moved to the virtual platforms. It's an era of MOOCs. The OERs are making a huge impact on the learning of the student. Earlier pedagogy was teacher-centric. It was resource-centric. Today's pedagogy is student-centric and learning-centric. So the assessments are more online, and we are trying to do all the processes through learning management systems like Moodle and Canvas, etc. So coming to digital pedagogy, we all know that pedagogy basically means studying of teaching methods. Similarly, digital pedagogy focuses on the use of technology for teaching in today's classrooms. Basically, digital pedagogy helps in overcoming the hurdles that usually students face and also enhance their experiences. Moreover, open pedagogy, open education, critical pedagogy, and emerging technologies have a huge impact on this growth of this digital pedagogy. And nowadays, gadgets, digital devices, the networking tools are a part of every professional's life. And all this has enabled digital pedagogy to have a strong backing of educational psychology and is being approached from the critical pedagogical perspective. So we in library science have been using digital pedagogic tools for the past 2-3 decades. Some of the general pedagogic tools that we all are used to are the search engines, the OPACs, the learning management systems, the integrated library softwares, the off-campus access, the mobile apps are some of them which are very familiar. Okay, and to organize the resources, to organize the knowledge resources that we have, we use the classification and cataloging tools which are online, like WebDB, subject headings, Mark, which are all put together as catalogers desktop these days. Okay, coming to the various kind of services that libraries provide, the most crucial one is the circulation service. As a teacher teaching library services, one would rely on the integrated library management softwares. We all have the demo versions. For example, Soul 2.0 has a demo version, a free demo version, which can be used to teach them the various aspects of circulation services, whether it is renewing or reserving the books. And then also we can help the students get a feel of the virtual tour of the library, where which section is and how the new arrivals are displayed, etc. And the security system like RFID and all are available on the vendors' websites, which can be used for teaching the students about the security systems. Same way, for current awareness service, we have online journal TOC. We can help the students create their own Google Scholar alerts in the areas of their interest. Even the database alerts, the RSS feeds can be taught to the students. Coming to teaching reference sources, sources and services. Okay. So students are basically made aware of the primary, secondary, and tertiary sources through various physical or the print resources. But then a lot of online services, the government information sources, the virtual reference sources like the dictionaries, the encyclopedias are available. Then we also encourage students to visit the good libraries in India as well as abroad and understand the digital reference services they are giving. For example, Ask a Librarian, Question Point, Library Answers, and chat services, which are very common. And nowadays we have WhatsApp too to provide the reference services. Okay? So some of the digital pedagogy tools which are very in trend now are the discovery services, the web skill discovery tools like EBSCO, Summons, or the search tools like Google, Microsoft, Academic Search, Base, or can be used to teach the students the search strategies. Similarly, when we have a good library, good services, and good facilities with a good collection, then marketing the services is extremely important. So helping the students design the library tutorials, design the brochures, bookmarks, etc. makes a huge difference to their understanding. And also creating branding items like calendars, diaries, or posters will be really helpful for the students to realize how important it is to promote the collection as well as the services. Same way, research services in the science and technology libraries or the research libraries is gaining a lot of prominence. Librarians are excelling in providing the research services. So we in our school, in our department, are trying to teach reference management systems like Mendeley, Zotero, and plagiarism softwares. Each faculty has got their own accounts. So we help the students understand how a plagiarism software works, how the similarity reports are generated, and to help them understand about the importance of academic writing, the scientific writing. We expose them to Grammarly, Typeset, OLIF, etc. We also teach them how important it is to create author IDs like ORCID, Scopus ID. And then we, since we are very lucky to have InfluMnet in the same city as us, we encourage our students to attend workshops, seminars conducted by InfluMnet on DSpace and ePrint so that they understand how to create a digital repository. And regularly for the assignments, we give them resource to develop resource guides. We also encourage them to visit various publishers' website and go through the tutorials to use the various databases, what do the databases contain, how to search, etc. Also, we expose them to various citation tools like APA, MLA, IEEE, etc. And then the new area in the research services is the data visualization tools. So we encourage the PhD students to give seminars on these tools so that our students are exposed to the concept of research data management, data visualization tools, etc. Okay. Some of the general tools that we usually come across in the library science courses, due to the pandemic, we all are aware about streaming media. YouTube is one very common, then there's Canopy. Similarly, creating profiles using IRINS, which is a must in most of our universities. Then the new concepts of makerspace and Tinker Lab, where the students can experiment with 3D printer, etc. Then how to network academically using ResearchGate and academia, and how to use social media to increase their contribution to the area of their interest. So we at School of Library Science, along with all these things which we are doing to give them an experiential learning, which even our new education policy stresses on, we do all these things, and apart from that, we give them unique projects, unique assignments to our students, so that they use a lot of digital tools to carry out their regular assignments and projects. We also encourage them to participate in national and international events. For example, Open Access Week, Peer Review Week, National Library Week, World Book Day, and many others. We also have encouraged our students to increase their writing skill, speaking skill, and other kind of exposure by asking them to create their own newsletters, create electronic posters, and even the PhD students, right from their coursework, are told to get into the publishing process all by themselves. So they are given an experience by asking them to submit their term paper, their seminar papers to the publishers and undergo the entire publication process, right from submitting to peer review, so that they get an idea before they really start their research work. And apart from that, the reader services. So we encourage our students to read books. Encourage them to read ebooks and journals, articles, and ask them to give reviews on the online platforms. Right now, we are using WebEx, Zoom, and Microsoft Teams. So this is one way of encouraging them to speak and express their opinions. And webinars have been an encouraging trend, as we could expose our students to international and national level speakers to give them an idea of our world of library and information science. So here is a glimpse of our creations, a few bookmarks which they did digitally, and here is our newsletter which we bring out every quarter. So here are some of the webinars that we conducted, a few glimpses, and then the learning management system, which has been recently initiated by our university in collaboration with Inflibnet. We also regularly teach them the digital tools like concept mapping, mind mapping, to get them interested into the topics and the courses, and then teaching them about copyright, how the digital content has to be copyrighted, the various forms of copyrights, by helping them visit Creative Commons website and trying to understand the same. Then we also promote such exclusive pages on the publisher's website where they have a lot of information for librarians. So in the future, when they join the libraries, they know exactly where to find the information and how to help their user community with their with the scholarly communication. So we have been making attempts to give an experiential learning to our students, but definitely there are challenges. One is our students come from rural background, and some of them come from vernacular background. So their learning styles, their thinking styles are extremely different. So we do face a hurdle initially in the first 6 months, in the first semester. And also, what digital tools, when to use them, when not to use them, that kind of wisdom we should have as faculty. And every digital tool comes with its own limitations and some threats. So though they are adults, we have to monitor them when they are using these digital tools. And then some of the resources may not be free. They may require subscription, which may be difficult for young schools like ours. And then the duration of each class, for the class allotted for our courses, is very limited. So using such kind of digital tools may become sometimes limited, or the infrastructure may be a hindrance, as we are staying in a transit campus. And also technology keeps changing. So what technology we have taught today may change by tomorrow. So keeping up with the speed of technology is also another challenge. And the demo versions that we are talking about, whether it's Soul 2.0 or Koha open software, all have their own restrictions. So with these restricted features, we just want to give them a feel of the software and a feel of the concept. So here are a few more tools that we are using. For example, To teach them academic writing, we teach them the citation styles like APA, MLA, etc., and then Grammarly, then Urkund, and we are regularly using the Purdue online writing lab to teach them how to write their review chapters, etc. Then the virtual tours that I was talking about, this is the Library of Congress, and this is one more, the Learning Commons at Hong Kong University. This is one of the children's library. So I would like to close saying that digital era is definitely making its presence felt. We are able to gap the huge difference between the information haves and have-nots. Libraries, being the democratic institutions, usually promote inclusiveness and equality of access to information. And the digital resources are literally making a compulsive effort by the library science professionals to equip themselves with this kind of digital competencies. And we, the library science schools, are designing our curriculum to prepare such kind of competencies in our students. This also ensures that we understand the processes better. But what is required is the creative and the critical thinking of the teachers in using these digital tools. So I would say that digital tools definitely offers teachers an opportunity to create experiential learning, and also it enhances the learning practices and outcomes. So I would close my talk with this quote by Ern Duncan: technology alone isn't going to improve student achievement. The best combination is great teachers working with technology to enable students in the pursuit of the learning they need. So it should be a collaborative effort between the students, the teachers, and the librarians. Okay? Thank you very much. Thank you for giving me an opportunity and hearing me patiently.